Very few things go together better than H.P. Lovecraft and Jeffrey Combs. Jeffrey Combs has spent much of his acting career portraying characters in Lovecraft adaptations. Now, there's two major ways to adapt Lovecraft's work. It can be the serious, brooding, cosmic horror, dread-inducing nihilistic approach, or it can be the campy, fun, strange approach. Jeffrey Combs is usually in the latter. He's probably best known for his portrayal of Herbert West Reanimator. I love Reanimator, and it encapsulates that campy approach to a T. It's a blast to watch. Combs followed that up with From Beyond, another fun, strange, campy adaptation of Lovecraft. Now we can sit here all day talking about the different Lovecraftian roles that Combs played, but tonight we'll focus on the 1994 Full Moon production, The Lurking Fear. Now when you hear Full Moon features, you think Charles Band. Band has spent much of his past making money off of Lovecraft's work, similar to how Roger Corman made money off of Edgar Allan Poe's adaptations a few decades before. Starting with Empire Pictures, Band released Reanimator, From Beyond, Castle Freak, and of course The Lurking Fear, with a stellar cast consisting of Ashley Lawrence from Hellraiser and of course the Jeffrey Combs. Along with experienced producers like Band, The Lurking Fear had everything it needed to be successful. So, should The Lurking Fear be held in the almighty pantheon that houses Reanimator and From Beyond, or is this one forgotten for a reason? Well, let's find out together. Welcome to the HellBound Horror Show. The Lurking Fear differs greatly from the source material by the same name. Just like Herbert West Reanimator, The Lurking Fear was serialized and published first in Home Brew magazine. And this isn't even the first film adaptation of this particular work. In 1989, Dark Heritage was the first film to adapt this story. Lurking Fear starts in the not-so-distant past with Catherine, played by Ashley Lawrence from Hellraiser, and her sister taking refuge in an old church. Catherine's sister is a recent mother, and she is protecting her baby from some sort of creature. Well, after some back and forth, they decide to stay the night, and it's in the middle of the night that a creature breaks through the wall and tries to steal the baby. The mother comes in and gets sucked through the wall by said creature. A few years later, Catherine decides to dedicate her life to stopping these creatures that feast on the town. She teams up with Dr. Haggis, played by Jeffrey Combs. Why does Combs always play a doctor? I love it. Together, with the help of a pregnant woman, they devise a trap in the church with a ton of dynamite.
The nitro's bleeding.
Really?
Doc.
We also have a weird crime thriller subplot going on as well. This guy has recently gotten out of jail. He meets up with an old friend and they discuss that there is a body buried in the church's graveyard that is loaded with laundered money. With the help of a map, the ex-convict goes to the church to dig up the corpse, but oh no, this three-person gang is aware of the money and they go to the church to steal it right under the ex-convict's nose. Both plots merge into one as the ex-convict gang and creature slayers meet at the old church as a storm approaches, which brings about the underground dwelling monsters. Mayhem ensues, people get picked off one by one, and we get this awesome moment. Talk about a cross chop, eh? Yeah? What are these lurking creatures? Will the money be found? Will anyone survive the night? All these questions and more will be answered if you watch the movie yourself.
Forgive me, Father. I've sinned.
Lurking Fear has almost everything it needs to be successful. However, this film failed for me. It greatly missed the touch of director Stuart Gordon, instead being directed by Courtney Joyner, who basically directed this and Trancers 3 and nothing else. Gordon was a master of adapting Lovecraft's work, and his vision is sorely missing. See, Courtney Joyner fails this film. Direction and editing are the film's biggest problems. Oftentimes, action isn't properly captured from shot to shot, and we get some weird sequences where characters jump in and out of frames jarringly. It can be a real mess to follow, and it feels sloppy. Nothing feels impactful. It honestly feels like a typical full moon feature at this point in time. feels like head of the family or hideous. So if you like vintage full moon feel, you'll feel right at home.
Just do me a favor and kill me slow.
The story also suffers. While it does take some small concepts from the Lovecraft story, it mostly creates its own narrative. The Lovecraft story was merely just a springboard, and the new story that it came up with just isn't interesting to me. What if a crime drama happened on the set of a Lovecraft world? Just doesn't sound appealing. There are positives to Lurking Fear. I enjoy the creature design immensely. Sure, it looks a little like the Pit Witch from Army of Darkness, but it does the job for a low-budget film. At times, the movie looks great. Some good lighting, some decent shot compositions. We also have some decent performances. There's not a lot for the actors to work with, but Combs always finds a way to make his characters memorable. And Ashley Lawrence looks like one tough son of a gun. She's intimidating, but also has that human touch. While I harp on this movie, it's definitely not the worst. I just had really high expectations. I hear Lovecraft, Combs, and Lawrence, and I get all excited and giddy. Even if it was a few pegs below Reanimator or From Beyond, I'd be one happy dude. But unfortunately, Lurking Fear doesn't deserve to be in the same breath as those films. Check it out if you're a fan of full moon features from the mid to late 90s or even early 2000s, or if you're a fan of Jeffrey Combs or Ashley Lawrence. But don't check it out hoping to find a good or even campy Lovecraft story. And that's all I have for tonight. So thank you so much for watching, and stay spooky, everyone. Reanimator, From Beyond, Castle Freak. What's your favorite campy Lovecraft adaptation? I'd love to know in the comments down below. Thanks. Bye.